My name is Andy Simmons and I've been nominated for building the Salford Strowger project for the University of Salford. It's a piece of heritage equipment that we've put together, basically a very old style telephone exchange.
The university's been very active in public engagement with organising exhibitions where we demonstrate various pieces of telecommunications technology to show how it works and also how the technology's evolved over time. I've always had an aspiration to build a working telephone exchange, but until I met Andy, all I had really was a collection of parts and an aspiration.
I met Nigel and we kind of instantly clicked. And looking at the artefacts in his office, we saw the Strowger equipment and we got talking about it, and that's where we decided to sort of build the project, which had been a long-term aspiration for Nigel. When the actual model was being created, I was spending the best part of 12 hours a month on the construction phase. Most of the time is actually spent at the university in the lab building the model, but there was also some time spent out and about collecting parts from various parts of the country. Well, I think if our project was to win the Chairman's Award, I'm sure that the university will put it to great effect in terms of public engagement projects, taking it out about to schools and exhibitions and really having a really positive impact on the community.
We've showcased it at just one exhibition and the response was phenomenal. The children in particular loved the fact that it moves, it makes a noise, they can see how it operates.
We actually saw firsthand the public, how they reacted to using it. That was the real sort of the real clincher that made it all worthwhile.
If Andy hadn't contributed his time to the project, it wouldn't have happened. It's as simple as that. Well, the piece of equipment is now a standard part of our public exhibition and our schools outreach programme. We can take it out to local schools and colleges, we can use it in every public exhibition that we hold from now on, and of course it will enhance the project from this point forward as well.
The potential of a company of this size, if more people were to sort of donate there up to 3 days a year on volunteering, the impact could be enormous.
My name is Louise Bryden and I'm the musical director for the Newcastle All Stars Steel Band. We get very busy during the summer months. We gig nearly every single weekend. It ranges really between 3 hours a week to sometimes 20 a month. We get a lot of regular bookings every year for charity events such as the Sport Relief Mile we play at, various festivals around the region and the Great North Run. We get thousands of runners finishing, picking up the medals, and we're there playing for them to congratulate them at the end. We love doing that every year. We've got a real range of kids. Some of them may have personal difficulties and they come along and it's a way for them to express themselves, it gives them a sense of achievement, and it's really, really rewarding for both me and for them and their families to see them performing.
She's brilliant. She's always there for you, like whether it's musically or like personally, she's always around to talk to or to help you out with everything.
Without Louise's input and drive, the band would almost certainly dissolve, I would imagine. She arranges the music, she drives the van, she takes the bookings, she sends the email out, she does the Facebook, she does the website and all that kind of stuff. She cares so much about what they're doing and, you know, not only in the band but where they're going in their life. It's a great group to be involved with, and without Louise it wouldn't be here.
If we were to win, it would be absolutely fantastic to buy a new trailer, one that doesn't leak, because that damages our instruments. So we would love to buy a new trailer, because if we haven't got transport, we can't go and perform in the community, and that is what we're all about. I have always felt proud to work for BT, but never more than now. I think it's absolutely fantastic that a company as large as BT are recognising individual people for the work they do in the community.
My name is Paul Copley. I'm a full team call-out member for Bolton Mountain Rescue. You can get the more run-of-the-mill things what people perceive as mountain rescue up on the moors. We also do get called out for all things to do with police, ambulance and fire. It works out an average over a year, 34 to 40 hours a month. BT, the support they give for not only me as a volunteer but for everybody is absolutely fantastic. A few months ago there was some really bad weather and North West Ambulance had called us in to help them out, and I just said, can I go? And they just let me go on a whim. So they're extremely supportive.
His personal commitment to the team is excellent, and his family and his employees are very supportive of his work in the team as well.
I think it's a great honour for me to be selected for the Chairman's Awards, and I also see it as recognition for the team as well. So overall I am very proud and honoured to be selected.
He brings a maturity to the rescue team, both from his background as a hill walker and also his experiences with his employee BT. One of the advantages with having Paul as a member is that he lives locally to the mountain rescue base, and in a way he's on hand at all times to assist with all the little jobs that any large organisation carries out on a day-to-day basis.
The rewarding things are the feedback you get off the people you help. It's a special feeling to hear them say that, knowing that you've been out there helping them. If I was fortunate enough to win the BT Chairman's Award, there's a new control vehicle we'll have to purchase which enables us to bring newer technology within the team. It's easier to manoeuvre, it's got better equipment in it, and it's just the next aspect of us modernising our equipment. I speak to other people at other companies and they don't have this sort of volunteering programme we do. The pride I have worked for B&T enables me to do this and become part of this team, which for me is very special and plays such a big part in my life now with the time committed doing it.
My name's Adrian Watty, I'm part of the Riverton Sea Scout group. I'm the Cub Scout leader. My wife is the Scout leader, so I help out there as well. And as my children come through Beavers, and they're currently in there now, I help out in the Beaver Scout group.
Adrian's done so many different things for this group, I couldn't pick on one of them. He makes sure the kids have a really exciting adventure every time they come to Cubs or Scouts or Beavers. He is kind of cross-sectional in what he does, and he turns up at every meeting he possibly can, and he's just fantastically supportive.
Adrian is encouraging, motivating and inspiring.
Funny, awesome and legend.
Funny, mad and kind.
Funny, exciting and motivating. Generally Scouts has always guided me and helped me.
He's really supportive and he helps me out whenever I'm stuck.
When I started Cubs, I was very nervous and he introduced me and helped me.
Oh, he's awesome. He's like cool, he's fun.
The biggest thing I've got from scouting is actually being able to talk in front of people, more communication skills and actually active listening. One of the main key important bits with the Cubs and Scouts is you need to listen and interpret and see their body language. Sometimes just because they're sounding happy, they might be upset. And I can see the same thing when I go to work, on calls and other things like that. I actually find I can interpret of how the other person's feeling and have that empathy with them. It's great to be nominated for the Chairman's Award. I do lots of volunteering myself and all the little bits that go with it. I think getting any money for the group is a benefit. Currently our Scout group doesn't actually have a building, and the Cubs are running the village over there and our Scouts and Beavers are run over there in two separate villages. At the moment we're lacking a hut. Any money that we win from this will actually go towards actually starting the progress of our new building. We've got planning permission already and we just need the money to actually fund it and actually get it off the ground. I think the Chairman's Award and the BT CSR programme is a great opportunity for anybody in volunteering to actually be able to help other people. I find it great, and I've worked with other BT volunteers as well. I'd like to thank everybody in the BT volunteering arena because they don't all get recognised.
I'm Candace Merle. I'm a volunteer advocate for the Albion Fellows Bacon Center, which is a shelter for victims of domestic violence and rape crisis here in Evansville, Indiana. The reason that I became a volunteer was that I was a victim of domestic violence. It was very painful. It took me several years. And then I saw in the newspaper an article that said they were needing volunteers. And I thought, that's what I need to do. I really didn't understand what that meant until I actually got called for the first time.
I have such respect for the volunteers. They are often getting up in the middle of the night, leaving the safety of their own home and going out into the community. They don't know what they're going to be facing.
A lot of times the victims feel ashamed. They don't want to talk. And when that happens, I say, well, let me tell you what happened to me. And by the time I finish, they're crying and they're ready to share with me what happened to them.
She conveys hope to them, and they can see her inner strength. And I think that's inspiring.
But you want to try to strengthen them because right now they're beat to the lowest of the lowest in their life, the lowest point in their life. We want to get them past that. We want to give them the tools and the encouragement and let them know that there are people who care and that things can be different in their lives.
She has given us 14 years of her time, and with that comes experience and a wisdom that only she can possess because of the journey that she has been on personally. She has no doubtedly saved lives through those 14 years.
She is one of the most kind-hearted people I have ever met. She is compassionate, always willing to help, always thinking of others, putting the needs of the shelter first.
If Candace was to win the BT Chairman's Award, that funding would definitely be poured right back into our community to better serve the victims who are here.
If I can help one person not go back to their abuser, to keep them and their children from being hurt, I'll be there.
My name's Jane Swift and I work in TV, media and content, and I'm here because of my involvement in the food bank.
Jane came to our very first volunteers meeting. Straight away she got involved by offering to help for BT to get involved and to see how she could just enhance what we're offering to the public here.
It's a real shock for me to hear that there's 13 million people in the UK that are below the poverty line. That kind of really hit home that there could be families and mums that aren't able to feed their children.
We're here today at Colliers Road at the food bank, and Jane was actually the inspiration behind setting up all of the food banks that are now in existence at BT.
She had a million ideas on how we can do it, and you could just tell that this is what she wanted to do, and she had her heart in the right place. So there's still room to expand, and she still has a million ideas, and you know, it's great. It's just going to grow and grow.
She was the thought leader behind setting up the food bank and BT Tower, and realized actually that that model was scalable. And as we sit here today, we've got 27 food banks operating across the UK, and that's Jane really reaching out and finding people in the business who are really willing to become involved.
If I were to win the BT Chairman's Awards, there is so much more that we could do, and with some basic materials like paints and pictures and maybe a few chairs and things, that we can really uplift the place where people actually come to collect the food. At the beginning of this, we did set ourselves an amazing goal. We said that we wanted to feed 10,000 people. We've now fed around about 600 people, and as we open up more food banks, that begins to snowball and snowball. So if you're out there and you're thinking, do I get involved? Please do get involved. In your building, if you've not got a food bank, come through and talk to us to help us achieve that 10,000 people fed goal.
I heard about BitFixit about 5 years ago. I was looking for something to do with technology, and from the start I found the work very interesting and the place welcoming, and I was hooked. For 3 hours a week every Saturday, we repair computers and we help people with technical issues.
Naomi started volunteering at about the same time we met, and since then she's been a regular, consistent volunteer here, helping with everything from software to hardware, and we've been having a great time doing it.
People will come in with simple software problems which are quite easy to remove if you know what you're doing, but very difficult and scary for people who don't.
Naomi actually is the soul of the project. She does a lot. She sorts out a lot of technical issues, especially software related, and she knows how to talk to people.
Being able to communicate in a way that is easy to understand, friendly, that's a very important part of what we do here, and I certainly believe that I take that back with me when I go into work. Another thing we do is provide computers for people who don't have a computer. Having a computer and being online is part of citizenship. It's not just a hobby or something some people do for a job, it's actually an essential part of life. To have that recognised by being nominated for an award feels great.
I know this award means a lot to Naomi. She doesn't always get the recognition that she deserves. Also, I think it's important that we've got a major provider of broadband recognising the work that the Computer Cafe does, which is all about really connecting people up to each other.
BitFixit is entirely funded by donations and voluntary contributions, so whatever money I might win from this award, first of all, would just go to the running of the place. As well as that, we could do with some new hardware for our server, and also we could do with some publicity to get some more volunteers interested in working for us. I'd like to thank Lynette Walsh for nominating me, because without her I never would have thought that I would be in the running for something like this. So thank you, Lynette.
My name is Alan Lee Creswell. I am a CSE engineer for BT. So we're in Draperstown. It's quite an isolated country town, so people would be less likely to have internet at home. I actually volunteer for BT Connected Communities, teaching disadvantaged people skills in IT.
BT Connected Communities initiative is run by ourselves in a small office in Draperstown, and it's very much just about connecting the local people in the town. So it's getting them online, it's getting them using basic computing skills, basic internet skills, and connecting them with the wider world.
I know nothing at all about computers, so I always wanted to Skype my family.
The family all use them, even my 13-year-old grandson, my 11-year-old granddaughter, and I think my 5-year-old granddaughter. You feel but left out.
Each week is structured, but each class we like to just go through with each participant to see what they would be more comfortable in doing that week.
It's a pleasant, happy learning environment, friendly and warm.
They're always so pleasant while they learn, and they really enjoy it. I donate 4 hours of my time, 2 hours teaching and 2 hours travelling.
Alan facilitates the classes, and without him being here, the classes just wouldn't happen, quite simply. He makes the classes very accessible and very easy for people to get involved with. Alan's passionate about BT, he's passionate about teaching, he's passionate about volunteering in the community.
Alan's excellent, he's very clear and very concise.
He is very good looking now. I'm sure all the girls are after him.
I'm very proud to work for BT every day, because I think they give so much back to the community on a daily basis. They actually allow places like this to exist. If I won the BT Chairman's Award, the money would go into continuing the service, because Glasgowbury actually put a lot of their own money into it.
Volunteering is a thing that lies close to my heart, because I don't think people need to get paid for all that they do. People need to give something back to society, and it shows a very good tendency. Somebody as young as that would take the time and the effort to work with old fuddy-duddies like us to do computers.
This is the African Refugee Services Community. It's a social services group hosted here at St. Michael's Parish. The centre provides a full range of services to be able to make a life.
Someone who comes here as a refugee, first of all, he comes without nothing. He has nothing.
It's good for the soul when I see a group that's willing to do a lot with so little. A lot of the activities center around self-sufficiency.
For the garden, when people grow crops, they take them to the market. And for the women's group, whatever they make, they go and sell them. God actually is involved in almost every activities of the community.
There is a education and tutoring program, and that occurs through computers that BT's been able to offer the group.
It's good for the kids because they can do the homework, they can understand what the teacher teach them, and so they can progress.
Also, they give us things to use in the kitchen, to use in housekeeping. They give us computers which we can use at home in order to be on the internet.
Without Gary, our group will be in a very different position. He has been very proactive to bring new ideas to help us succeed.
If we were to win the Chairman's Award, there are a lot of things we could invest the money in, most notably in the garden, where we would buy irrigation supplies as well as seed, mulch, and everything that we would need for planting and harvest. Educational supplies, always a demand for textbooks, so we'll be preparing to purchase those. The Women's Empowerment Group does a lot with handicrafts, and they're always needing supplies to be able to create those, so all of that will go to good use and self-sustaining use.
He's a very wonderful person. Everything we need, he's present to help us. We appreciate it very much.
It's important to realize that we give and get in the work that we do with the group. My wife Michelle and I are working on an African lasagna recipe with the group. So that sort of the community involvement is what helps bring us all closer together.
I was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 18 months, so I've had it all my life. I learnt about my local epilepsy society group and got to meet other people with the condition and found out how they were coping with medications, treatments and everyday life. So that was how I got involved.
Tanya volunteers in our